going to take this many sales a month at this average,
which means you're going to have to talk to this many people. I used to call it kissing frogs. You're going to have to kiss this many frogs to find that prince, and then you got to keep finding that prince over and over and over again. And so, if you want to make $100,000 and the average deal size is $1,000,
there you go.
There you go. How many phone calls, how many people do you have to meet to get that $1,000 sale?
Right. Yeah.
And then do that 100 times.
Right. On the Medicare side, it's roughly $300 commission per person you helped change the plan. So it's not a lot. So at 100,000, you need about
3,000,
320 clients, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Because every 100 is about 30,000. But then on the pre-need side, it's 20% commission of the overall death benefit. So if you write a funeral plan for $5,000, that's $1,000 commission.
Holy crap.
Right. So, you help somebody with their Medicare, you make $300, and then you write them in for a funeral plan, and then you make,
all of a sudden you're making like $1,500.
Right. Per person. So at that point, it goes from 300 people down to
150.
100 people.
Wow.
Maybe less.
Sure.
So, you can do it, and that's where our niche is senior healthcare solutions.
Yep.
But helping people in assisted livings or needing assistance, because the Medicare is there, the funeral planning is there, the Altex planning is there. There's talking to the POAs, there's long-term care insurance, retirement planning, annuities, life insurance. All these little things kind of peel into the one area niche that we're in, and just stay focused with what you're doing. And agents do pretty good. Once they realize that we can't do everything, we just do this one thing and we're good.
Yeah.
So they see that and they want to come over and they join the team. Got to support the team. Right. Yeah.
The team. You mentioned assisted living.
Yeah. So assisted livings, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on with that on the insurance side?
Yeah. So, I would say that much like every portion of business, much like every portion of especially insurance, maybe even to an extent the assisted living world, whether that's on the licensing side or the caregiving side, it's a very fluid market. Right. When I say fluid market, it's a constant evolution. There's constant movement in the market when it comes to who are the players. And when I say players, like if a carrier suffers either a big loss, it's not profitable, then they'll get out of that market. And we've definitely seen that over the last 3 to 4 years.
Right. You get a lot of investors in buying assisted livings, and they just throw managers in, and then they just file claims.
Right.
A carrier gets enough claims, they don't want to play that game anymore.
Well,
does that come up a lot?
Absolutely.
And then they pull out of the market. Like a carrier recently pulled out of the market entirely.
Yeah.
So you can't even have access to that one anymore.
Right. And so when I started, I think quoting assisted living 3 or 4 years ago, it was really
and actually 3 or 4 years ago, a bunch of carriers pulled out of the market.
Yeah, there was
leaving only one to monopolize everybody.
Yep. And so really what that did is that left them the ability to charge whatever they wanted.
Right.
When you have a monopoly like that. And so with that fluid market, 3 or 4 years ago, you had 6 carriers that were willing to look at it. Oh, this is this type of risk. We have that. It's a profitable market for us. We'll quote that business. That's come down to like 1, which is why we have sought either private insurance company known as risk retention groups, which are they're offering the same coverage. It's all within compliance, except it acts more like a mutual company.
It's a bigger umbrella.
Yeah, it's you're not dealing with a lady in a blue apron. You're dealing with someone who who understands that specific field,
Right.
who has enough experience because they battled it out in court to understand the risk. And we've got special pricing that we've been able to negotiate, which basically will take you down to about, let's say about $3 per day per bed, maybe
Right.
$3.50.
That's not bad.
But all in $3 a day per bed to run your business. So if you've got 5 beds, you're talking $15 a day. You're fully insured and you will never have to worry about anything.